Hey guys, thanks for joining us on the Fix. It's your boy Infinite Umbra. Well, it's your man. I'm nobody's boy. It's your man. It's your man, Infinite Umbra. I'm joined, of course, by my co-host, co-star Daniel J. McGee. I was going to say Danny, but I got to get the full name.
I appreciate it. I'm willing to be somebody's boy for $15 an hour. I will wingman you in any situation. I promise.
And we're joined here, of course, by a good brother of ours, Crusader. Crusader, man, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a minute since I've been on just about anything.
Well, you know what? Speaking of which, what's up with you guys' show on Sundays, right?
So, earlier this summer, there was horrible flooding in Toronto that impacted our host, Invader. And we have been on hiatus while he kind of gets things back to normal at his home.
Right.
And so I think we'll be coming back-ish. I don't have any kind of update on when, but like, you know, I would imagine we'd be back by this summer, for sure.
Okay. Well, sorry that happened to him, but yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, nah. I was gonna ask, but that's just inflammatory. I was gonna be like, so is Tim Dog still with you guys? And it's like, nah. I don't
Tim
know.
Dog hasn't been on the TXR podcast for quite some time, actually, like long before like that happened. I don't think he was on at all in 2024. Like he had stepped back from most podcasts.
Okay. All right.
In like late 2023.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to come off as funny or something like that. So, yeah. Let me mute this before I play this eventually. They have copy right struck me a few times past few shows.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew about the one, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, looks like MJ is in the background. Let's see if he can. Oh, please. MJ, if you're listening in the audience, give me 1 second. Let me get through this, and I'll try to make sure to send an invite to you or whatever. But yeah, I guess without further ado, let's kind of get to this because everybody in the chat, thank you first and foremost for coming through and spending some time with us. Let me see, who do we have here with us tonight anyway? I know we got our mod, Gray Monad. What's up, brother? K Asante is in the house. K, what's up, bro? Soil Tech. Soil Tech is like the first one here every time. So shout out to Soil Tech for coming through and holding us down. Spartan 661, thanks for coming through. We have a Hooved brother in the chat with us tonight, Bobby Hawk.
Oh.
Welcome, Bobby. Bobby's trying to steadily win us over. Is that my man Nick? What's up, special Nick? Nick, by the way, didn't you have a thought that there were going to be some games shown here tonight that didn't show up? And it wasn't just you. There was a few other people that had thought there were going to be some games that show up that didn't show up here tonight. Like different ones. And I think it was, what did they say it was? A Gears collection, I think they said, and something else.
Yeah, so there was a couple people who said that they're, I think it was either Insider Gaming or Tom Warren who either earlier this week or last week had put out an article saying that like there's a bunch of games that they weren't sure if they were going to show up in Xbox's Direct today or if they were going to show up like in the next like couple weeks. So there may be some more stuff to be shown in the next a couple weeks. I'll see if I can figure out who said it. I'm not sure if it was Tom Warren or Tom Henderson and also Nick.
Yeah, I think it was Tom Henderson, and because he put Nick thought it was going to be Final Fantasy 16. Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of people. I know a bunch of people were teasing Final Fantasy 16. Like I had been teasing back and forth with Jez Corden. Like I don't know anything, but I had been teasing back and forth with Jez Corden. I was like, hey, do you know anything about Final Fantasy 16? And he was like, it's a fun game, smiley face. And that was all he would say.
Try to be cool.
And I'm like, okay. Because 16 and 7 Remake are both supposed to be announced for Xbox for this year.
Right. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, I figured we would get 16 and 7 at some point. Square has made it pretty clear that they're going to be bringing it through. So, yeah. Well, see, Nick, you were smart not to do so because people keep attacking you when you do that. So you were wise not to. I understand. But you know, it's something just to say. Our brother Nick here had called Final Fantasy 16 coming over to Xbox, what, a year ago, Nick? A year and a half? He told us about it on the Infinite podcast.
We should really give
Has
Nick
that game
his
even been out
laurels.
a year and a half?
Yeah, it was about a year and a half
Yeah.
ago or something like that. It was like a year and a half.
Um,
He told us about that. It's about a year, I guess.
Nick really deserves his laurels though, because he in 2022 posted on Twitter, I believe Twitter was the first place, that he had heard Platinum Games was working on with Team Ninja on Ninja Gaiden in 2022. He didn't say anything about. I don't think he said anything about Xbox at the time, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure he said that that it was specifically that Platinum Games was working on that. Yeah, Nick's saying he said it on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I missed that one. And
So
typically I'm paying
I think
attention.
I think he quote tweeted it even today again.
Yeah, got to get the receipts. Nick has them on standby. But yeah, shout out to you, Nick, for doing what you do and the knowledge. I got to start hitting you up more, like try to coax information out of you or something. I don't know. I try to be respectful. I'm like, I ain't going to mess with him. But,
Hey, you replied to the tweet.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He doesn't remember.
Hey,
He's got the brain fog.
Yeah, listen, I'm moving. I'm shaking and moving. I didn't know. What's up, Stilo? I didn't know. I probably it's so much. I'm like Homer Simpson. The more stuff I learn, the more other stuff I push out of my head. Yeah. Oh, he just like, let me check. Dang. Yeah.
That's so
I
funny.
see. Oh, let me see. Oh, okay. Oh, I did. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Hey, I was moving on autopilot. That's all that was. Anyway, let's move on with this. As you guys can see on the screen here, this is the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black right here. I got a good hour, maybe not even an hour, like maybe 40 minutes worth of gameplay of it tonight off the PC, and it's glorious. It's on Unreal Engine, of course. You know, I have to say, because like I don't know what engine they used before. I forgot what it was for the previous Ninja Gaiden, the original, should I say. But this looks similar to it. It looks a bit better. I would say, though, I don't know if it even needed an Unreal Engine just because it looked so good before to me. But, I mean, this doesn't hurt it. And it's still fluid. It still moves the way it does. You'll probably see me getting cut up a few times and stuff like that. Yes, Gray Boo. What's up, Adidas? But it is crazy to get used to again. I'll say that it's tough, but rewarding. But anyway, let's move forward. Danny, what have you been up to, man? Let's just try to get some housekeeping out of the way really quick. What have you been up to? What you been playing, watching?
Well, let me think. I, for some reason, did not really think at all about what I have done this week. Mostly I played an absolute buttload of Mario Party. Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2. We're working on those for Ready, Set, Replay. Although there's 2 other replays that are come out before that. Those games, I think... Man, I don't know if Nintendo is still on that same like grind that they were back then. But I believe that at least in the year 2000, Nintendo was run by the same monsters from like Monsters Incorporated, but instead of harnessing electricity through screams, it was through just like gamer rage. Because I'm relatively confident that those games were like built in a lab to be as frustrating as humanly possible. They are the monopoly of video games. Like they exist to destroy friendships.
Oh wow.
But man, they're crazy. The second one is significantly better than the first one, I think. But they are just
terrible.
I don't know why anyone would play them for fun. I truly don't.
Yeah. What about you guys had finished up the what was it, Banjo playthrough?
Yeah, so Banjo-Kazooie was the first episode that we put out. last Tuesday, and so we'll do the next episodes are Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and then Perfect Dark, and then we go into the proper like chronological order of the year 2000, starting with Mario Party 2.
Nice. Yeah, speaking of Banjo, Nick, you were talking about that too. I saw a tweet with you and Jazz, and I think you were saying, I don't want to misquote, but I saw you quoted someone that was speaking on the guy behind it, saying that gamers today wouldn't want it, wouldn't support it, or something like that. And I'm not sure what your stance was on it. I think yours was that you didn't think they would, and Jazz was saying that he think we would embrace it. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I remember seeing it briefly though. But anyway, Crusader, what have you been up to, brother? What have you been playing? If you had the chance to play anything.
So I have finished my 8th game of 2025 already.
Oh wow!
Oh my god!
I started the year playing the Resident Evil games for the first time.
First time?
Yeah, I've never played any of the Resident Evil games.
I
think I said this on this podcast the last time I was on.
You may have. Now keep in mind.
I played 2 remake. I played 2 remake, 3 remake, and 5 so far.
Okay.
I played 5 in co-op with a friend.
5 is actually really dope. So yeah.
I enjoyed like 95% of the game, and the last like hour was dreadful. The final boss fight was dreadful in co-op because my lord, the Shiva quick time event during that final fight that you have to do is one of the hardest quick time events I've ever seen in a video game. And like I went online to make sure that people weren't being crazy, or we weren't being crazy about that, and everyone's like, no, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. But you know, so I played those. I just beat Kingdom Hearts 3. I beat Kingdom Hearts 3 last night, and I beat the Remind expansion today, right before I got on this show.
Nice. You know, I don't think I've ever beaten any Kingdom Hearts. Even old ones I played through most of them, I just didn't beat it.
So that's another franchise. The first time I ever played Kingdom Hearts was last year. It's another franchise that I just had never played, and I have a bunch of friends who love Kingdom Hearts.
What did you think about it?
I think the story is absolute nonsense in the politest way I can say that.
Yeah.
And like when I say it's absolute nonsense, I'm actually enjoying the absolute nonsense. It makes no sense, but like when like Mickey Mouse goes, "They'll pay for this," I'm losing my mind. It's funny.
That sounded closer to Shaggy. I don't know if
that was Mickey. I can't. My friend can do a good Mickey. I can't.
They'll pay, Scoob.
But I absolutely adore the gameplay in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's hack and slash, but there's nothing quite like it.
I think Mickey's more like.
They'll
pay for this. It's more like that. Yeah. A little high pitch.
But like I will be a day one Kingdom Hearts 4 player for sure.
Yeah.
It's Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep, which was the PS Vita game, is actually one of my I played that and it clicked with me, and it's one of my favorite games now that I've ever played. Absolutely loved it. Nice. So like had a great time playing Kingdom Hearts. And like again, I had said like a lot of my friends they've been lifelong Kingdom Hearts fans like all their life, and so I've been in Discord streaming it so they can watch me play for the first time.
Nice.
So that's been really, really fun.
That sounds dope. Yeah, good to have a support system there. People helping you get through it and all that. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's never too late to go play a good game, right? So it's good that you're finally getting through the Resident Evils. I need to go back and finish up some things in my backlog too, so I can't really talk too much about you on it. But yeah, for myself, shout out. First off, let me shout out a few more people. I see a few more people joined us. AJH, what's up, brother? It's probably like 3 in the morning for him. TZ, what's up? KC, I gotta stop saying Cassia. KC, what's up, KC? King Webb, what's up, brother? Try Hard Fan, what's up with you? Dusty Uno, what's up, Dusty? And my name is Neo. Oh, wait a minute. Why did you go to 2 accounts, Dusty? I think that's both of your accounts, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. So as far as myself, I have been playing The Witcher 3. I got through all of the DLC, basically both DLCs. Just reminded just about how much of a masterpiece that game is. It's something special, and being able to play it on PC with all the bells and whistles and such just elevates it that much more. It's just a masterpiece of a game. So now finally I'm on this Ninja Gaiden. I gotta get back to Indiana Jones and wrap that up. And I'm actually going to be doing a review for Eternal Strands, which will be dropping into Game Pass next week. So yeah, shout out to Kay, by the way, who helped the brother out with that situation, and we're going to get something written up to be on the GCP blog. But listen, let's move forward to get out of here so we can get through this and everything. As far as news, Danny, do we have anything for the news roundup?
We got a couple of things, nothing too big. I think probably the majority of today is going to be just talking about the developer direct.
Yeah.
But a couple little things happened. Number one, Ted Price from Insomniac retired after 30 years. So congratulations to him. He had a really good run. All signs are just pointing to him legitimately retiring and leaving the industry and going to, I don't know, walk dogs in Alaska or something. Whatever older people do these days.
Shout out to him. I mean, 30 years in the game, doing what he does. Now, let me ask you guys, do you think there's any possible nefarious reasons, such as...
Nah.
No? Okay.
Nah. At most, because, they bought out Insomniac in, when? At most, he might just be like, I'm retiring with all my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most nefarious thing I could think of happening, realistically, is... Oh, that guy's very loud. It would be if when they bought Insomniac, there was a contract that was you have to stay in Insomniac for a certain number of years and that time is up, and so he was like, okay, well, bye.
That would be a really long period of time though, because that's all. That would be almost 6 years, and those usually are only
6 years
3
ago.
At most. Yeah, it's 2018, wasn't it?
I thought it was more recent than that. But
it was either 20. Right. It was before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was some time back.
It was either 2018 or early 2019.
It looks like they announced that they wanted to acquire them in August of 2019, and then acquired them later that year.
Yeah, because it definitely happened before the lockdowns. Because it was before I was into being online about gaming at all.
Yeah, it looks like it finished February of 2020. So I guess technically 5 years.
Yeah, that's still kind of a crazy long time.
Pretty long.
For that. Those are usually 3 years at most. Bungie's were only 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe he got sniped like your Judas Chicago Bears did to my offensive coordinator in Detroit.
Yeah, we have to take him off your hands, bring him on home, sweet home Chicago. You know how it is.
Yeah. He's a really talented guy. It's a shame that he won't be able to teach Roma Dunze how to catch a ball.
Yeah.
And I know he can't catch a ball because I drafted his ass in fantasy. That dude sucks ass.
Yeah.
He cost me a couple of weeks.
Yeah, listen. Who do you got? Who did they find out? We know who's going to the Super Bowl now, though, right?
No, we're finding out this weekend.
This weekend, okay.
So this weekend is the championship games. It's going to be between the Chiefs and the Bills, which that's basically the Super Bowl right there, because whoever wins that is going to win the Super Bowl.
You think so?
And then on the NFC side, it's the Eagles and the Commanders, and those are both good teams. The Eagles are, well, I don't know. The Eagles and the Bills are pretty similar to me, where they both have 2 or 3 good players, and then the rest of the team is just a bunch of duds. The Commanders kind of came out of nowhere. They don't have the best record in the year. I don't know. They don't have the best record in the world this year. They kind of scraped by, but Jane Daniels is good, and what's his name? Trey McLaurin or something, good ass receiver.
Yeah.
So they're the dark horse. But if the Chiefs beat the Bills on Sunday or whatever, then I will basically just assume that they're going to go 3-0 at the Super Bowl and make history. So just be ready for that, I guess.
Okay. Well, the only reason I'm tuning into the Super Bowl is to catch Kendrick Lamar and SZA perform. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
I really like SZA. She's great.
Yes, this is dope. Kendrick is a genius when it comes to the lyricism. So
Yeah, I really like his lyrics. I don't care for his voice.
yeah,
Like
well,
when he's
I can
actually
understand
performing.
that. I can understand. Some
It's
people do say that. Yeah, I've heard that.
it's something about like I don't know.
Kind
He
of
does like
nasally
a
sound.
well, it's not even in all of his tracks, but like I would say like half of them. He does like this, yeah, like a nasally voice. I actually kind of think it sounds like Disney's Goofy a little bit. Like if you did if you did a Goofy impression and sang Not Like Us, it would not be a huge difference, genuinely.
Don't say that in L.A. They're gonna jump you.
Hey, look, it's a good track, but I just wish he said it different, you know?
Gosh, you better not ever go to Cell Block 1.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, like he's a genius, but I hear that and I go like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, hey,
so-
MJ, what's up, brother? Welcome.
What's up? Is my audio all good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good to
Alright,
go.
That's good.
I guess briefly you could tell the folks what you've been up to and things like that. We'll finish moving through the news roundup to get to these games. What is
Sure.
Just Metaphor ReFantazio. I'm still pushing through that game. I'm hoping to finish
Nice.
it this year since I
This
was
year?
yeah, this year hopefully. But it's such a big game. Like I'd be surprised if I did.
is.
And then we have what was it? Expedition 33 and South of Midnight's coming out both in April, and then Doom in May. It's like and Avowed in February.
Oh,
like that's disgusting.
back to back
March.
to back.
Like
March has a really cool game called Atomfall.
Oh yes, right.
Oh
we
yeah,
do
that's
have
seen
going
that.
that.
to
That's in
Game
March.
Pass too.
Forgot
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
March.
Oh, they
And
got a game each month. Like they're just going.
Sniper Elite is like
Sniper
next-
Elite
Yeah,
5,
isn't that
right?
next
Or was
week?
it
Yeah.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
No, it's like some weird one. Yeah.
They
It's all
finally made me
Resistance,
not
I think,
mad
right?
with Game Pass for like 2 quarters running. Let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
I did
They're
see your
going
past
crazy.
tweets where you were complaining about the quality of it, which you weren't wrong. But yeah, the cadence is looking like this might be it, y'all. It's looking like they might have it down pat. But wouldn't you know? The time they finally get it down pat is now going to be going to PlayStation for some of the games.
Oh man, don't even.
Yeah, that's the rumor at least. But anyway, let me not go that way. What else do we have, Danny? And shout out to my man who retired and everything like that.
Yeah,
30 years
shout
in
out
the
Ted
game.
Price.
Price, get your rest, and yeah, that's
Oh no, you know what? Sorry, can I say one thing on that?
sure.
Sure.
Okay, my only obviously, cheers to the guy retiring. I knew nothing about him. I didn't even know who the CEO of Insomniac was. My only concern is that they need 3 people to fill his position. That was my only real concern there. Like, is it that bad or?
I think it's more that this is kind of how the structure existed with Ted at the top, and they're just kind of like
Well, because what I
not
was
really
thinking
replacing Ted. Does that
is
make
when-
sense?
What I was kind of comparing it to is when Bonnie Ross, I think that's who left Halo Studios, and then they split it up into 3 people. That's what I was kind of thinking. So like 1 person on each kind of division. So it might be
Fair.
like that.
So,
Yeah, well,
'cause
PlayStation's been doing
Insomniac
that
is-
lately too, because
Yeah,
they did
they
it
have.
with
Yep.
Jim Ryan, right? Where they
Yep,
replaced him with
they
Evan
replaced him with
Holston
2 people.
Totoki. So
Because like Insomniac's like a multi-teamed kind of thing. That's why they put out so many freaking games.
yeah,
Like that's why they have the capacity to put out game after game after game. And so like I'm not shocked that they have like the 3 leaders because it's more. I think it's more in line with like these are like kind of like our 3-ish internal teams.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey. But that aside, let's move to this news roundup, man, so we can get going.
yeah. No worries. Another thing that I felt needed to be mentioned is what the 11th or 10th PlayStation Live Service game has gone down this week.
Wow.
So Horizon, the unnamed Horizon MMO that was being made by NCSoft, obviously not a first-party studio, but a first-party IP, I guess,
Yeah.
is being canceled, being killed in the crib. We don't really know what ended up happening with it.
Well, and it might be the person who wrote that article retracted or said that it was being misinterpreted partially.
Partially.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't know.
I'd like
I
to
don't
know,
really know what's
what's the
going on.
fascination that Sony has with Aloy?
It's
It-
their fastest grossing game of all time.
Is that what
Yeah,
it is? So
that's-
they're
that's-
like,
that's
just
it.
It was-
using her. Okay.
Is that true?
It was
'Cause
the
yeah, their
PS4
first game-
console sales, right? It was
Yeah,
because they
their-
bundled it.
Well, it's
Oh,
not
that's why.
Yeah,
even not
that's what it
including
is.
that. It's still one of their game. The first one specifically. The second one didn't do quite as well. The
Mhm.
first one has like sold more copies than like anything else on PS4.
I don't even get that because like at least in my opinion, the game isn't that good. Like I just don't think it's like something that deserved 20 million sales. I just
Um,
don't.
And the second one they put on PS Plus really quickly during COVID, and they even talked about it during an investors report. It literally flatlined the sales of the game when it went to PS
Sheesh.
Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
just feels like they have this crazy love. Like even they had the Lego game which flopped.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it seems like they're
It
just kind
looks
of enamored
like
with it.
it looks like Zero Dawn sold 24 million and
Yeah.
Forbidden West sold 8. So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
fell
I'm
off
very
real
curious
fast.
to see
Oh,
how
yeah.
many people have played 8. Like I'm
How
very
many have
curious to see how
played
many people played it,
Forbidden
just
West?
because it went
Yeah.
into PS Plus so quickly.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know many people who are even subscribed to PS Plus.
I am through 2026.
Oh, wow. You like to torture yourself.
No,
Dude,
I
how
need
often
the
do you
fuck. I need
use
cloud
it?
saves,
Oh, okay.
and
yeah, that's fair.
I explicitly need cloud saves, and I use it for a lot
That's
of the
so
back.
stupid
I
anyway
didn't
that
have
they
a
forced
Oh,
that.
PS4.
yeah, it is.
I hate
I
that.
hate
Yeah.
that.
I didn't have a PS4
Yeah.
because I was in college during the PS4 Xbox One. I picked Xbox, and that was it. So I play a lot of their back catalog through PS Plus.
Mm.
And that has been really nice. But yeah, I need the stupid cloud saves. I hate it.
Yeah.
And I can't back up PS5 games to a thumb drive.
Yeah, it's stupid and it's cheap. It's a cheap way to force people to that service. I don't like it. I'm not gonna play that game.
Because
But-
Nintendo makes you pay for them too, right?
You know
No
what?
one else
I don't-
does. It's like
no,
those two.
I don't think Nintendo does. No, I think it's just the paid
Or do
online.
they even offer it? Do they even offer
I don't even
cloud
know if they
saves?
offer
They
it.
may not.
Actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if those saves. Well, the online ones, I know those ones saved to your account.
Yeah.
For like like my save for Mario Party, for example, that is saved to the account. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no,
about
sorry.
other games.
You need the Switch Online membership.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
it
part
can
of it.
save game data. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty cool. Love
Although
that.
you can back that. I think you can back Nintendo games up super easily. So it's like whatever.
You can just swap out SD cards.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, what else did we have in the news?
EA is eating big doo-doo. Bad weeks for EA. Bad quarter
bad
for EA, I
weeks.
guess I should say. Their stock dropped 17%, which is a roughly $6 billion devaluation of the company.
Ouch.
For Ubisofts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke it down as
Yeah.
4 Ubisofts in one of
Almost
the
one
articles.
Bethesda.
Ouch, man.
The two things that they're naming, although they're naming Dragon Age Veilguard, is apparently a really big disappointment. They were expecting it to sell like
Double.
12 million, basically.
No, they
And,
were
it was
expecting
like
to do
3.
3, and it did
They
1.5.
predicted 3, but Inquisition had sold 12, so that's like what they really wanted, apparently.
Yeah.
Inquisition sold 12 in 3 years.
Inquisition sold
yeah.
12 in its lifetime, but
Yeah, you
we're
don't
not
want a
gonna
sequel
we're
to
not
sell
gonna see
less.
Veilguard get anywhere near there. Mostly because it's just not very good.
No.
But yeah, so it has underperformed dramatically. They're also name EA Sports FC as having failed its goal, although I think that one is a bit more understandable in that it is no longer FIFA, and so I feel like people are just like, what is this? What's happening? What am I looking at? But yeah, it's really disappointing. If you're EA, good luck to them. Hope it's not a bunch of layoffs. Although we also did just see the director of BioWare, or the director specifically of Veilguard, leave the company to go somewhere else. So maybe she knew something we didn't yet.
She
Well,
said
writing on
she
the
got a
wall.
job. Like in her thing, she said she got a job offer she couldn't refuse.
Yeah, they always say something, don't they?
Literally anywhere else.
Yeah.
She's in the mafia now because that's pretty much what they say when you got an offer you can't refuse. But to her, I mean, to that whole situation, it makes me worry because I mean we keep talking, Danny. We talk about it all the time with
Yeah.
these layoffs and such. And you see something like this, I would have to imagine BioWare might be on the chopping block with something like this because that's a 1.5 million copy loss that they
Yeah.
took with this because they expected to sell 3 million and they only sold 1.5. So I worry, and if like you all just said, if that's 4, you say Ubisofts,
Yep.
Basically, yeah.
It's not a good
Which,
look.
no, it's not. It is one of those situations though where I do kind of wonder. I don't know if they would even get the opportunity, but I do wonder if EA would prefer to like sell BioWare before cutting them, you know? But then because I don't know if they would do that, because it's like, is it worth it just to hold on to the old IP, or is it worth it to make the money from selling the studio? Because you could probably still sell them for, I don't know, depending on your buyer.
Is
like,
BioWare as a
million.
company, just with the staff, even worth anything? Because yeah,
No,
Mass
you would be
Effect and
buying
Dragon
the
Age
IP,
are worth a lot.
really.
Yeah, right. But I
Yeah.
feel like the EA would just like let another studio tackle Mass Effect instead of letting BioWare do it.
If you're buying BioWare at this point, you are, not to bring it back to this, you're Ben Johnson going to the Chicago Bears. Like, you're walking into a shit sandwich and you got to fix it. So I don't know, but it could be worthwhile because like BioWare's a household name. Those IP are really big. If you can get Mass Effect and Dragon Age and KOTOR, whatever, if you can get those spinning, then like that's huge for you.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a while, and you're gonna have to basically gut and restaff that whole place because at this point, I don't really trust them.
I do
After
have to
a
push
period, yeah.
back a little bit on that, only because people have to remember that this game was rebooted not once but twice because EA changed the direction of it not once but twice. Because originally it was
Yeah,
a
oh,
single
for
player
sure.
game, then they forced it to be a games as a service heist-based game, and then it got rebooted into what it is now. Now, to be fair,
Yeah.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say anything about that, but. Like, we do have to remember this game went through a living hell of a development cycle. Not like, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
just target the, like, for what it was, for what we got for a game that was rebooted twice through different genres of game,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would keep that in mind when you think about the talent at the studio.
Well, yeah,
Sure,
no, look,
but-
like the. Sorry, you go.
Oh no, it's fine. But you also have to keep in mind, of course, that throughout the many years that was happening, they also lost
Yes,
huge
they-
percentages of their staff. They lost
correct.
like every name that you would remember from like old Mass Effect or old Dragon Age. Like,
The
they're
only
pretty much
one that's
gone.
really left is Michael Gamble, who is the head of the next Mass Effect, but he's like the only one
Yeah.
that's left.
And I mean, who knows how long he's going to stay there at this point?
Yeah.
You know, it's so. It's not that they're necessarily a terrible team. I think that there may be potential there. However, like if you're buying them, you can't necessarily like bank on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're taking a risk for
Yeah.
the IP.
And that's the thing, because they're working on they're working on Mass Effect already. I don't know what happens there. What goes, and this is already not the original BioWare team we had before, by the way. So
Hate
Yeah.
when people say that because most teams aren't the original team due to the sheer amount of whatchamacallit, just layoffs and
Yeah.
everything around the industry. Almost no team, because of the 5-year development cycles, is the same team that made the original game of anything now.
well,
Like,
look at Crusader.
CD Projekt Red is not the same CD Projekt Red that even made Cyberpunk.
Well, that's
Well, that's
true.
probably
Let
for the
alone
best.
The
Or
Witcher
even
3.
Bethesda
He
for
says-
Fallout
Yeah,
4.
He said it's
Bethesda-
probably for the best.
Right, yeah.
Bethesda was really bad for that. They expanded too much.
Yeah.
The like this is like that's just like one of the huge things with like all these teams. I really hate it when they say it's not the same team. Like, yeah, none of them are the same. There's like 3 studios that don't have a turnover rate right now, and one of them's Larian.
Yeah, but when I speak on it like that,
Larian's
I
gotta
mean
be
like
offering money.
like a dramatic change. Because this BioWare team, I think most of the team, if not all, like this is brand new, mostly new people.
I wouldn't even call it a staff thing. I call it a culture thing. The
Sure,
BioWare
that's
culture
fair.
is gone. The Bethesda culture is gone. There's none
Mm.
of that classic. We were in Skyrim. We were in the original Mass Effect.
Right.
The entire culture has changed. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know that I would agree with that with Bethesda. I
Bethesda-
think that they're. I think that they're largely
I also
the same.
don't agree with that with Bethesda.
I think of it. I think of it with BioWare for sure, though.
Like, because that was the number one thing that people complained about with Starfield. They're like,
Arguably,
this feels too much like a
it's too
Bethesda game.
ingrained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, too ingrained. Huh? Well, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Again, we see the situation with layoffs and such going on. People cutting ties with studios and things like that. If they have failures, this type of failure right here, I feel like somebody's going to be in trouble. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I don't know how true this is in video games, but I suspect it's still pretty much the same. In the film industry this year, a lot of studios have the mindset of we just have to survive 2025. And so I would not be surprised at all if we see a large number of layoffs and changes still continuing through 2025 in the games industry. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Anyway, what else did we have, Danny? Was that about it?
That's pretty much it. The only thing I've got here, and I don't know how much we'll be able to say about it, is that Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, has officially started production. We got a little
that?
teaser of Millie Alcock, who's playing. She's playing Kara.
They have
Just
some.
sitting on set.
What's her name again?
Millie Alcock.
Her and both. Did they purposely set out to find people who had the weirdest last, like the surnames? Millie Alcock, and his is cornstarch. What is his? Corn
Sweat.
Corn sweat. Cornstarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what if they purposely set out? Let's get the ones with the weirdest names.
Well, that's Superman and Supergirl, so maybe they just got weird last names on Krypton.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But no, that's the one also where we have confirmed now that Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo in that movie.
I'm not mad at that, actually. Yeah, being honest,
No, I think it's better casting than Aquaman. If I'm
100% better casted. The main man. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But anyway,
yeah.
Let's move to
Right.
let's move to the main thing.
Absolutely.
We don't want to delay it too long. If you all seeing my glorious gameplay right here, me getting blown up and chopped up, I hope you all enjoy this. I haven't played Ninja Gaiden in years, so I think I did all right for me not to have played it in so long. It's been a long time. Anyway, all the gore and blood and guts and all that, and head chopping, and look at that. Look at glorious, glorious. You all should try it out. You know, this is only $50, by the way, if you all desire to just purchase it. If you know, it's up to you guys. But anyway, let's move to the actual showcase games. What we'll do, guys, is we'll check these out. I'll get you guys thoughts, and at the end, and I want to get you guys in the chat thoughts as well on everything we show. At the end, I'll ask for a grade, and maybe I'll post a poll, and you guys can vote for what was the best overall. Or I don't know what better yet. I'll ask you what games were your game of the show. What was your game of the show, rather, and I'll put a score for the show. That'll be better.
Gotcha.
So yeah. All right, this was Ninja Gaiden 4.
Hell yeah.
I dare not put any music or anything sound on because
You get DMC'd.
Get
to
get
oblivion
copyrighted
back.
immediately.
Yeah, I don't want to even risk it. So while it's playing, I guess we can conversate. Why not? Were you all at all surprised? Not surprised, but did it make a lot of sense for you to see them partnered up with Platinum?
No, I wouldn't say surprised, but it does kind of feel like wish fulfillment to an extent, because Platinum is that guy for like character action games. They are the person to do that. They have this weird sort of hit and miss track record if you look at it, because there is good Platinum and there's bad Platinum.
True.
Like you can one-to-one, you can be like, okay, well, there was Nier Automata and then there was like that Korra game, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And it always feels like it's like one for us, one for them, and they just don't care about the one for them one. Based on what we saw in this, it feels like this is one that they're taking pretty seriously, and that's very exciting, because when Platinum gives a shit,
Yeah.
they make really good games.
Yeah, I agree with that, and you can see like the action looks top notch. I feel like, I don't know if I would feel like it's a visual upgrade to the series itself, but I just know it looks good, like colorful. I like the attacks are on point. By the way, this new character here, for those that don't know, his name is Yamako, and when I'm seeing it, I'm like, that can't be right. You right there, right? Then I see the Izuna drop. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, there he is. There's the man. Yeah. So no, I'm super hyped for this. Again, like when this was playing, and we said this in the green room before we started, but in Crusader. But yeah, much like you, I felt like I wish they would have shown this at the end.
Yep.
And because I could not concentrate on anything else after that, I was stuck
the show felt like it was missing a one last thing, and literally shadow dropping Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is
Yeah.
like the greatest one last thing that they could have had. That was like my one note about this show was like, this shouldn't have started it.
Yeah.
You should have started with Doom. You should have just switched those two.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. What do you guys think about the trailer though for Ninja Gaiden 4? You guys hyped for that? MJ, I'll start with you. What do you think? What's your excitement levels for Ninja Gaiden 4?
I'm gonna be completely honest. The only reason I'm excited is because it's going into Game Pass. Only reason. If this was a purchase title, I wouldn't have any hype for it. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't. I'm not into Ninja Gaiden. I was there for Doom, so we'll get into that later. But what I did see, like, I'm hyped to play this. I am gonna play it only because it's in Game Pass, though.
Yeah, that's a great take.
I'm not a Ninja Gaiden guy. I was hoping for Persona 6. That's what, or like
fair.
maybe Final
been
Fantasy
cool.
16 going to Xbox. That's what I thought. I'm thinking, okay, I feel like, I don't know if I made it up in my head at some point or if someone on Twitter said it was going to be a Japanese title, but I thought it was going to,
Yeah.
someone did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't making that up.
Jazz,
I thought it was
Jazz
gonna be
Corden
Persona
broke a
6.
story about it.
Yeah, okay.
Not only did they do that, it was a Japanese title. So they
Yeah.
know the
Yeah,
truth.
no, I knew
Yeah.
I didn't make that up in my head. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was a Japanese title.
Jazz
I thought it was
Corden
gonna
said
be-
it was a Japanese title from a legendary long-running franchise.
Yeah, so that could have been Final Fantasy. That
It
could have been
could have
Persona.
been like
that
any
could
number
have been
of
anything.
things.
Could have been anything, right? Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Castlevania, personally.
I thought Persona after a minute, but yeah.
I would have been screaming. I would have been like, screw Doom. I would have been all over that. Like, I would have been amazed.
Yeah. What about you, Crusader? What was your thoughts on Ninja Gaiden 4? It's like, I don't know. Well, you haven't played the other ones, you
I
said, right?
was excited because I like hack and slash a whole lot.
Yeah.
Now the one thing I'm slightly concerned about, and this is just a personal kind of taste in how I like games, and I'll talk more about this in Doom because I was very excited for the opposite reason with Doom. Ninja Gaiden's known for being like brutally difficult, and Team Ninja is known for making brutally difficult video games like Neo, right? And I'm not a fan of brutally difficult for the sake of brutally difficult. So I was a little concerned. I'm a little concerned that I won't like the game because it's Team Ninja is involved with this, and I'm just a little concerned that it will be brutally difficult. Because like one of the things that I really like Platinum games for is in like Nier Automata. There's your standard difficulty options, but then they have a lot of just like other things that you can activate that if you don't like certain aspects of the game, you can make these easier or inversely harder. Like you can remove the HUD and stuff like that and make the game harder to play. And so I'm just a little concerned that I won't like the game for the brutal difficulty.
Yeah.
That
it's
I don't know if
possible.
it's gonna have. They didn't talk about difficulty like at all.
Yeah. I mean, if it's-
Meaningfully at least. So
The only
like
thing
I
that
don't know.
the only thing they said is like our games are known for being hard, but we want it to also be fair. Like I think
Yeah.
that's the only thing that they said.
And so I'm definitely going to try this because it's going to be in Game Pass. So just like MJ, like this is probably not a game that I would have gone out to buy day one had it been announced. But it's one of those games that's like, oh hell yeah, this is coming day one to Game Pass. Count me in, right? It's just we'll see how much like if they get the difficulty balancing right for my tastes, this will be a game that I'll be like, hell yeah, right? Like so. I love hack and slash, love it to death, and
Yeah, same.
this just looked like modern hack and slash.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm super excited. But I've been a fan of Ninja Gaiden since the NES. So
I have yet to play one.
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna go play the 2. How brutally difficult is 2?
Yeah, it depends on what you put it on. I had it on normal, and I was still getting chopped up, as you all could see in the gameplay. So if you put it, I think it's 2 other levels, hard and one other one, and it might be one after you beat the game. You know how some games do. So at least 2 more levels beyond what I had it on normal.
Okay.
So I guess let's say very hard, and so I would caution just start on normal. I mean, it depends on you how much trouble you want.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would say start on normal because it's challenging even on normal, especially if you're not. This too. What about you, Danny? What was your takeaway for it? What did you think about it?
So Ninja Gaiden is one of those games that I have not really played like any of, by which I mean literally not any of. but I don't know. I think that it is such a bold choice to, after a decade, be like 4. It is Ninja Gaiden 4, and not like I fully was
Right,
expecting it to
right.
be like Ninja
reboot.
Gaiden something, right?
Ninja
Like an
Gaiden
off-brand name.
subtitle.
I don't know
Yeah.
how like important the story or plot or whatever the hell of Ninja Gaiden is. It looks like this is sort of like a legacy sequel
It
because they are
does.
adding that secondary protagonist. It's like more cyberpunky in vibe than I think the old ones were.
Mhm.
So like there's a lot new about this where they could have just called this like basically a sequel series. I think it is such a bold choice to call it 4, and I really kind of respect the hell out of it actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially after all those years. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to play it. It's not one that I'm like necessarily like super duper excited for. It's not like one of my top, I don't know, 5 of the year or whatever.
Mm.
But it's definitely one where it's like, yeah, if it comes out at a time where there's not like, because I think what did it say, like fall, right? If it
Yeah.
doesn't come
Yeah.
out within like a couple weeks of Grand Theft Auto, I'm on it.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto is going to take everybody's time. So
For sure.
100%. Yeah. No, I mean, hey,
Most
listen,
people's time.
pretty
not mine.
much. Oh, not you, huh?
Mm.
Oh, you want to be different or what?
Well,
what?
we'll
Not
see.
one of us.
We'll,
Not
we'll
one of
Right.
see.
us.
Yeah,
I
right.
haven't enjoyed.
He's
a
not like
Rockstar.
us. Go
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed a Rockstar game.
on.
I haven't like truly enjoyed a Rockstar game since the first Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
Not even the
Wait.
second one?
I was just about
No.
to say it. I was
I-
literally
I got
time out. You didn't like
I
part
got too tired of the like uncanny valley of realism of like the character bending over so slowly to pick everything up and like the hunting mechanics at the beginning that I just fell off. I
Couldn't get out of the
never
snow
finished it.
area.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I
See,
never
you see those
finished it.
memes where it's like you couldn't get out of the
Um,
snow area, you just almost
yeah.
hit gold
I got-
and then you just abandoned it.
I got too board.
like
I'll go back
Crusader.
to it someday. Like I had the same problem with GTA 5 when it launched. I only just finished GTA 5 for the first time in the last like 18 months.
So Crusader,
I just got too bored with it.
Dutch had a plan
He's gotta get some money.
though. Right.
And I've also been like my favorite Grand Theft Auto is San Andreas, and I've just been kind of disappointed with all of them since because like I loved how many different systems and things there were in San Andreas, and I've just never felt that like the ones after it like
Yeah,
matched or surpassed what they did there.
Well,
I mean, they control better
Hopefully
for
Six
sure.
does that.
Can I
Yeah.
tell you a slight spoiler for a side quest in 5?
Sure. I mean, I finished 5, so like
Oh, okay.
I,
So
5
did
I
you
finished. I finished
did
it
you-
in the last 18 months or so.
did you notice the side quest where you go to the cul-de-sac from San Andreas and kill
Yeah,
a
oh,
bunch
yeah,
of people
yeah,
who
yeah,
are
yeah,
dressed
yeah.
like the cat? It
Yeah,
feels
yeah, yeah, yeah.
disrespectful, especially
Yeah.
because that game also starts with Trevor killing the Lost in the Dams protagonist.
it sure
Yeah,
does.
like that
Yeah.
annoyed
I don't
me.
like
no,
5.
yeah,
I don't like
100%.
Grand Theft Auto 5 at all. It kind of annoys me actually.
That annoyed me.
I
I
like
was mad
I
it
like
was a
the heist.
Y'all just
reboot.
start ranting.
I like the heist aspect.
Yeah, the
heist
heists
aspect.
were fun.
The heists are
They
cool,
were
for
fun.
Sure. Yeah.
But like when I heard that we were going back to San Andreas, I was fully expecting like a return to the gang warfare systems and stuff like that. And it, like, I was kind of sad that it was Heist Simulator. It played
way-
really well. The heists were
Let's
cool.
play the online. The online is Heist Simulator.
Oh,
The-
most
the-
people,
the
yeah.
No, the online is a second job. That's what it is.
Man, people RP heavy on the online that thing. I already know the next game is about to be crazy 4 billion seller. But that
Yeah.
said, by the way,
Yeah.
Cyberpunk also has that cul-de-sac area, by the way, of Grove Street in it. By the way, Danny. I don't know
for
if you-
for
I
the
don't know if
first
you knew
one.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Do they
kind of
also
liked how
go
the
in
first
and
one was.
murder all the people in there?
No. Well, you do have a mission. You have a mission in there where you can murder some people there in
The-
that area. But yeah. But
The first one was very like, I don't know, like you could have the homing dynamite with the like with the like what is it, the slow time, whatever it is, the max pain
Right.
ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't as like stupid in the second game, right? Like the first one still felt like a game, whereas like they go for like the uncanny valley of realism, like starting in GTA 5, and then they did it again in our Red Dead 2 for a lot of the stuff, except for when you're playing Trevor in GTA 5. And I just was like kind of like, this isn't for me anymore. And I fear that GTA 6 will be like that, and it's maybe they'll prove me wrong, and maybe I'll buy it day one, but I don't see it happening.
Okay. Excuse me. Move on. We had Doom, the Dark Ages. I gotta say, I still love the armor work they did with this Doom
so
Slayer. He looks badass, man.
Mm.
Beautiful armor work. Also, I am excited to be Captain Doomslayer because I am going to be tossing that shield like I'm Captain America
Oh yeah.
all day.
Oh yeah.
Look at the deflections and parrying system in there. I'm liking a lot of what I see with this. MJ, you are one of the biggest Doom fans there are that I know of. How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 on this?
Easiest 10 of my life. You might have seen it. I pre-ordered the collector's edition not
Yeah.
10 minutes after the show was done. I needed that in my life. I'm like, please, $300 go away. I need this as fast as
Go
possible.
away.
All else fails, if it doesn't come in time for the early access, I'll spend another 40. I don't care. I want to play it as soon as unbelievably possible.
Well, it'll be in Game Pass too, so I mean,
I know, but for the early access, you have to
Oh,
like for 2 days. So
that's
I will
right.
quite literally pay whatever they want for that early access. But I'm hoping it comes as it should, like on time, so I don't have to. But I will.
Okay, I see.
So, I mean, if they do it the cool way, like Bungie does with their collector's editions, you should like get the. I hope you get the like premium codes ahead of time.
Maybe
Oh,
yeah.
'cause
The
they can
code,
just
I'm pretty
email
sure it's in
those
the
to you?
steelbook. I
Ah,
think
that
it's in the
sucks.
steelbook. Yeah.
Because like I wish they would just email you the codes on purchase, like because like that's one cool thing that Bungie does with their collector's editions is they email you the codes for everything immediately upon
Yeah.
purchase, so that you
Nice.
can redeem them immediately, so you don't have to. That statue looks sick.
Oh yeah, the 12 inches
Right.
of doom.
The 12 inches. God, I love
I
that Insomniac
needed
started
that. The
Wait,
12
they
inches
really
of the
call it that?
Slayer.
Oh, okay.
So
No, no.
it was just what everyone says about any statue in any collector's edition after Insomniac tweeted the
12.
16 inches of Venom.
Yeah.
I need the 12
Um,
inches of doom in me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
like, wait.
wait a
Whoa,
minute. Hold
Those
on.
are pro numbers, dude.
Hey, oh, hey.
Hey, yo.
But,
No, but the statue looks sick, dude. I am excited.
I
to
saw
put
it,
that
man.
on my. I can't wait. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Like, I don't.
yeah, you now, MJ, I did ask this randomly and I'll move past you, but are you gonna like eventually do like get on camera with your stuff, your setup and everything? Because you got a lot of
See-
collector items right now, right?
I want to do an unboxing on
Yeah.
my channel of the collector's edition of Doom, and I also want to at least hopefully get the collector's edition. I'm assumingly of GTA 6 because they would be stupid not to, and I would like do like unboxing. I'd love
It'd
to
be
do that.
really stupid not to.
Like it's an easy $300
Really,
you're gonna take from me.
really
Just do
stupid
it. I'll
not
buy
to.
another copy if I get to play it. I don't care. Like those two games I need.
Yeah. But what about you, Danny? What was your takeaway for Doom here?
Honestly, it's kind of like exactly what I want from a Doom game. I'm not the hugest fan of those games. It's just not the kind of game that I typically play. I obviously respect that they're top in class of what they are, just not necessarily like the type of game that I enjoy the most. But this one, where they're like, he described it perfectly. He was like, the first one is about run and gun, the second one is about jump and shoot, and the third one is about stand and fight. And I was like, hell yeah, brother! Like that's what I'm gonna. Because that's
Let's go.
like that's my play style. Is I in every game ever, like I want to be the tank. I want to be like I want to be the steel wall, right? And them describing it like that, I was like, shit, finally a Doom for me. But like they're all great, obviously. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I hear you on that and everything. I will say I like the tank idea too, and just seeing it in practice and how they showed it. It's less hectic than Eternal. Eternal felt like I'm like all over the place. Like I gotta keep going this way. I gotta go jump over here. I gotta do this. And whereas this one has a bit of that Returnal feel to me, how you dodge and some of the bullets and such or fires coming your way, which is like a callback to the older games too. So I think that they did a great job of modernizing the formula. It just looks really, really darn good to me. I think Crusader, I don't know if I asked you or if you really gave your thoughts.
I've just been kind of chiming in with other people.
Yeah.
All right. I love FPSs,
Mhm.
just in general.
Yeah.
Like, FPS shooter game, I'm on board. I don't care if it's as bad as the remake of 13 that that was released by Microids, or if it's as good as like Halo 3, I will play it, right? And this, you can hook this straight to my veins. I am so excited. But the thing that excites, because like I was already going to be excited for Doom. It's it's Doom. It's an FPS that I will be very happy to play it. But they got me so excited when they showed off the difficulty settings. I am a huge fan of modular difficulty settings, where you can tweak things up to make them insanely difficult in some places and insanely easy in others, to like totally either make, because you totally just enjoy a mechanic and you want to make it as hard as possible, or you hate a mechanic and you want to neutralize it as much as you can. And like being able to turn the game speed up to like 200%, being able to like make the projectile speeds of the enemies go like faster than the speed of light. That is I am going to so enjoy that, because I don't hate difficulty in video games.
Yeah.
There's just some things in difficulty that I don't like. And like having the ability to fully tweak exactly how I want to play this game. Oh, hell yes. I love it. I put the picture in the game clips and screenshots of the settings. I'm just, that was the like highlight of this for me, because it's like, oh my god, I can tweak Doom to be to play exactly how I want it to play. That is so awesome. Because like, you know, Mass Effect, that like the Mass Effect franchise, I play on as hard as I can make it, because I truly enjoy it that way, right? But like there's some things that I wish I could tweak so that like they weren't as I could make some things harder. Like I wish I could make enemy health higher in Mass Effect 3, and I can't. I don't think that they scaled that well in the difficulty. But like there's other things that I would scale down, and like, oh my god, I'm so excited for the difficulty scaling.
Okay. All right. And Danny, did you give your thoughts on it on Doom? I don't think you did.
I did, yeah.
You did, okay. I just wanted to make sure everybody got a chance. So Doom, looking great, looking good. If I played the actual direct, we'd probably be here all day. So I just I'm just going to go to the trailers themselves. Game looks fantastic. The only game, by the way, that they showcased that wasn't in the Unreal Engine. Everything else, Unreal Engine supremacy. What do you guys feel about that? I'm feeling good.
It's cool in some ways, because it means that like developers across like any studio can move to any studio, and like they don't have to get like caught up. But it's kind of bad that we're seeing the technology completely homogenize across the industry, because it means that you're gonna fail to see some innovations especially in optimization that we would otherwise see. Because like Doom Eternal is going to run like a freaking dream, because it's in id Tech. Like, just like Indiana Jones was in id Tech, and it ran like a freaking dream on everything, and looked spectacular on everything. Even the Series S did not look half bad in Indiana Jones, right? And like, that's the value of like having more than just like one or two engines on the market, that like you see like some of these studios really push the technology, and then everyone else's technology also kind of gets pushed in that way, because they're all going to figure out how to reverse engineer some of the tricks, right? But when you don't have as much of that, it's kind of bad. So like, I'm not real happy about the homogenization of Unreal, but like, I don't think we're at the point where it's a problem yet.
I get you. No, that makes sense. 100%. Let me. Oh wait, did I switch already? I did. Probably have all types of stuff popping up on the screen. Let me move to the next game. Mute this before we get caught up. Okay, there we go. South of Midnight. Again, I was so enamored by Ninja Gaiden 4 and 2 Black that I barely paid attention to everything else. I was on Twitter tweeting and everything, tweeting at the time, and I'm like, okay, I'm I'm looking back on the phone. My phone can get 4K, so I'm looking at the phone like, okay, it's looking good. All right. So I didn't really see much of this. That's her mother, I take it right there. Would that be right? Because
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this game looks so. I love stylized art. Or even when people go for realism, but they make it like real stylized and colorful. I love that, but like I absolutely adore the art style in this game with the sole exception of I don't like the jittery claymation style in gameplay. What you can turn that
Which
off,
you can turn it
so
off.
I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I really like it in the cutscenes because it looks like I'm watching what's his name? The dude who made like he makes the weird claymation movies that are Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it looks like a Tim Burton movie. It's great.
It does look kind of Tim Burton-esque a little bit. Yeah. All you need is that music he always uses, the whimsical kind of creepy music. I can kind of see it.
The giant catfish is awesome too.
Yeah,
Like-
giant catfish speaking in a Creole. Come on now, Hazel.
Like this is probably the Xbox Game Studios game I'm the least excited for this year, but I'm excited for it.
You know,
Does that make sense? Like,
makes
I'm
sense,
excited
yeah.
for it. It's just like this is the one that I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. Whereas the rest of them, I'm kind of like screaming about them.
I
but
think
like,
though, I think that speaks to the great abundance of great games they got coming out.
yeah, it does. It really does. Like this year, their software is on fire. this
Yeah,
year.
100%.
Absolute fire.
I have to say this is probably one of the better first halves that Xbox has ever had. I would say.
I think it's the best for. I think it's like the only good first half they've ever
Yeah,
had.
because they usually have really
They
bad
usually-
first halves and then like really good endings.
Because
Yeah, happy endings. Would you say, MJ? Happy endings.
Happy endings, yeah. We
they
don't remember Redfall.
they
Yeah.
subscribed to
Scrub it out of your memory.
they subscribed to the old release theory that everything needs to be released to sell in the holidays.
Yeah, they do.
And they're finally breaking out of that, and I can't believe it took them this long to break out of that because they're the company that needs it the least because of Game Pass. Like,
Yeah.
strangle someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys, Danny and MJ? What's your guys' thoughts on South of Midnight? You guys excited for this? Where would you put it on your hierarchy of excitement of games coming this year?
This is my number one, I think,
Really?
genuinely. Yeah, and like
That's awesome.
by like kind of a pretty wide margin, I think.
That's awesome.
And like that is partially because I'm like 50-50 on whether or not Grand Theft Auto is even going to come out this year.
Sure.
So I like,
Okay.
like that's pretty
Yeah.
tampered for me. But yeah, there's something about this game that just feels so unique and interesting, even just strictly from a artistic and like thematic standpoint. Like they're tapping into a culture and a folklore that is so unseen in media at all,
Right.
that it's not even like Greg Miller was talking about this on Kind of Funny, whatever podcast it was. I don't remember. It was probably Games Daily or something.
Right.
And he was saying that he had reached out to the devs at Compulsion after like the first time they showed it, and he asked, "Hey, I'm really interested in this folklore. Like, is there a book that I should read where I can get some of this?" And they said, "No, most of it's not even written down. Like, this is a strictly like oral folklore that is just spread around in the South." And I live down here in Texas. It's not exactly the exact same place where this particular like Southern sort of Gothic type folklore comes from. That's really more of like a Mississippi, Louisiana thing. But we get a little bit of it over here. And every time you wander into it, it's just like so interesting and like gripping and like I don't know. It's one of the most cool things. And I think it is so crazy that this is really the first thing I can think of, even movies, comic book, anything that really taps into this and to this degree. And I'm very, very excited for it. Like a lot of time when you go to media and they're like, "Oh, this is a game or whatever that's talking about Southern culture," it's like, "Oh, so it's cowboys." Like that's what they mean. Is like it's cowboys and racist people. It's like that's what the two thing is. And we got those things. Don't get me wrong. I live in Texas. We got them both. But there are so many more varied and beautiful cultures and folklore down here in the South that just don't get talked about. And so I'm really glad that this one is doing that because it's really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I have to say I think we're all in agreement of art style and
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think the
yeah.
music is going to be great. I know the cast, from what I've seen. I remember when they interviewed with Paris. Shout out to Paris. I'm excited, man. I'm all behind this. Got the brother with the nice fade right there. I see it. No, I think they got a winner on their hands right here. Compulsion, and it's something again. I kind of have really expected them to have a real strong rebound after what We Happy Few. So this is good. This is good to see them, step out of that something like that and elevate themselves, because you never know what this could like really lead to them being one of the top Xbox studios, depending on how it's received. So,
I was
yeah.
a little disappointed originally.
Yeah.
And let me preface with the word originally, because that's important. That this was going to be a shorter. I think it's like 8 hours is what they said is the runtime of this game. I was originally
it's only 8 hours for South of Midnight.
Yeah,
it's
they
only a
said it's pretty
$40
short.
game.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a
40
$50 game. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a hi-fi.
And I
yeah.
was originally disappointed when I had heard that.
Mhm.
But looking at Xbox's lineup this year, it slots in like perfectly at that size, right? Whereas Hi-Fi really had to carry the first half of that entire year when it launched. This game just kind of it slots in between Avowed and Doom, right?
Mhm.
In their
Yeah.
lineup, and it'll be a nice, because like Doom is probably, because it's like single player only, they're going completely full in on like the campaign experience. That's probably
Yeah.
going to be like a 20-25 hour game.
Mhm.
Avowed's probably going to be a like 30 to 50 hour game,
Mhm.
or more maybe, depending on how slow you take it in that kind of RPG.
Mhm.
This is like that kind of perfect game to launch in between, and to have like just like a smaller bite-sized thing where it truly fits in how like their release schedule's working. I'm actually truly in love with it being what it is now. Like I'm no longer disappointed in that. I
Yeah.
think that like, and like just like thinking about what they're trying to do with the culture and stuff, I think that even stretching it further might have you might lose people's attention even.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I'm a firm believer of allowing these creators to create, do their thing. If they
Yeah.
put in 8 hours, they must know it's not. They have a story set for those 8 hours. So,
Well,
yeah.
and like Compulsion is that kind, like they're just like their studio has like tripled in size since they've been purchased by Microsoft. So like if they want to make a bunch of bite-sized, smaller, experimental, really cool, innovative, going after like new storytelling avenues, like we were like MJ was or not MJ, I'm sorry, like Daniel was talking about with the whole culture aspect they're going with this, then like I'm all for that. Because I thought that's what we were gonna have with Tango, but Tango is gone. And we do have that with also a Double Fine, but like I would love for them to like keep tackling this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. That's South of Midnight. Then I'm gonna play this next one, and I'm gonna try to.
Rated mature.
Rated mature. I need to get a poll up. Not a stripper pole. Don't get excited in the chat. It is Claire Obscura. I still don't like that name to begin with in front of it. Let me see something.
You don't want my thoughts on South of Midnight, Umbra?
I thought I got yours. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. What was your thoughts?
It's not even. I'm just messing with you, but yeah, South of Midnight. Out of any game that, like, I feel like if it was released at literally any other time, I probably wouldn't touch it. But since it's in that early April release schedule, and that there's really nothing else, like if this was like, say, if Doom was anywhere near that, not a month off, I would be playing Doom. If Avowed was anywhere near that, I would be playing Avowed. And it does look graphically beautiful. The art style is there. But even then, for like the showcase today, I didn't need to see more of it to get into it. Like, I'm gonna play it. I'm probably gonna enjoy it. Like the 6 to 8 hours, however long. I'll probably finish it in like 5, because I usually finish games faster for some reason. But like, it's a game that I'm like, okay, I'm down to play this, but it's not something that I wouldn't play without Game Pass. But then I'm also excited to see if Compulsion can succeed with this, what they also have in the future.
Okay. Yeah. Danny, did I ask? I got yours. I'm pretty certain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Okay. I'm like, I told you I need some ginkgo biloba. Let me make this poll really fast. How do I? Add option. And how do I do that? Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. So, chat, I put a poll up. What did you score the showcase? What did you guys give it? Your personal score. You got A, B, C, and D. I'm doubting there's going to be any D's unless we got some hooligans in the chat.
I'm gonna call you a hooligan. You give it a C.
Yeah. So we have here final game because I've already highlighted Ninja Gaiden Black, and of course Part 4. So we're done with that. That was the secret one. Of course, was the shadow drop of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and Claire Obscura. I have to say, just looking at it, man, it has a very painterly, beautiful style to it. Superb voice acting cast. You know, they got Charlie Cox talking as the main character guy right there. Can't remember his actual name in the game, but looks phenomenal. I am I the only one that thought like it was going to be more linear than what it appeared to be in the showcase? Like it seemed like it wasn't going to be such an expansive thing to do all the stuff it was showing that you could do. Am I the only one that thought that?
I don't necessarily think I expected it to be linear, but when they were like, here's the world map, I was definitely like, oh damn. And then they've talked about
Yeah, right? Yeah,
in the
exactly.
time since. And the reason that I didn't think it was going to be that big is because they had been talking about how like it's a small studio in France. It's, you know, not a full price game. It's a $50 game. So I was like, okay, so it'll probably be sort of a smaller thing. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be.
It does not.
Like they were saying in some of their interviews or press information or whatever it was, like they were saying that they're expecting people to put like 30 hours into this thing. Like that's a full ass game.
That's a full ass game, and that's what I was saying, man. It surprised me. I honestly thought it was going to be pretty linear. I guess when they first introduced it, my thought was like, okay, it's going to be a story based RPG, not going to really focus on the exploration and all that. And then you start seeing some exploration aspects. I'm like, whoa, okay, well maybe I was wrong. But I have to say, I love the art style. I love the visuals, the painterly style it has going for it. The attacks look dope. Characters look intriguing. The enemies look intriguing. I'm excited for this. I would probably put this as, outside of Ninja Gaiden, I would probably put this as my game of the show outside of that, if I didn't have that. And this drops, of course, April 24th this year. So crazy good show. But anyway, Crusader, I guess I'll start with you. What was your thoughts on this right here? What were your thoughts on Expedition 33?
So I'd like to say, I'd like to put a very important caveat in front of this as I say this, so that people should listen to everything that I say real quick. This was my least favorite game of the showcase.
He's right.
Because I am not on a turn-based kick right now.
Right now.
And I'm saying the words right now very importantly. I like turn-based games, but for the last, I would say probably like 14, 15 months, I have just not been able to get myself into them. So
ruined it.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh my
and that's part of the problem. I want to start
God.
playing it, but I'm just like, man,
yeah.
I just don't want to I'm like, man, I want to hack and slash something, or I want to shoot the crap out of something, right?
Sometimes you're in a mood, sommes you're not. I guess I can see that.
And I think it was because during COVID, I played like a boatload of Pokemon games.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically Pokemon games. I have a living dex up to Gen 6 finished. And so I think I burned myself out pretty heavily on just like turn-based gameplay doing that. And I'm still not quite out of that funk. That being said, once I am back into the mood to play turn-based games, this shit looks hype as shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, This looks incredible.
It really
I
does.
just know that I'm probably not going to play it when it comes out. I will probably play it a couple months later. Because, like, I gotta play Baldur's Gate, man. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna, when I get back in the mood for turn-based games, it has to start with Baldur's Gate. Like, it has to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
think so.
man, this looks hype as all get out. Because it's not even just like turn-based. It looks like there's like reaction commands and stuff like that you have to hit like during while stuff's happening. You know, like if you watch the gameplay, it looks like you actually have to be reactive while the things are going. So it's not pure turn-based. Like I want to preface, this game looks incredible and it looks great.
Mhm.
And like in no way is it a disappointment or anything. It's just probably the game that like was shown today that I was the least excited for because I'm burned out on turn-based.
Okay, that's interesting.
And
That's interesting.
total personal problem, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
totally not a knock on the game.
Yeah, listen, it is what it is, and sometimes it's a matter of time. And right now, this is not the time for you to play this.
Yeah.
That's all.
To
it
Dusty
is.
in chat, Midnight Suns is another game that I have on my backlog that I have been like, man, I want to play this, but man, am I burned out on
Turn-based.
just playing turn-based. Like I want to play that real bad because I know it looks great.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I own it too and have not played it yet. So, yeah, we're both in the same boat.
Yeah.
MJ, I guess I'll go to you on this. What was your thoughts here on this right here, brother? What's your? I know that you are attuned to more of action-heavy games, but you do like some turn-based too. So, what were you thinking? What was your thinking on this?
See, my first thoughts, and I can be called really dumb for this, is I have been forever confused with what's this one? I completely forgot the name of it. Expedition 33 with Immortals 33.
Oh,
I
see.
thought when we were watching this, I thought this was Immortals 33 for like the first 4 minutes, and I'm like, this
That's
does not look like what I was like the battle, like the action
bamboozled me.
roguelike game.
It's the battle royale game,
That's
right?
the
Yeah.
that's the multiplayer action roguelike one. I'm thinking like, what is this? What am I
Like-
watching? Like,
like-
such a big graphics update.
he's
I'm like,
over
oh,
there.
this is a completely different game.
They bamboozled
Okay.
us. I've
No,
been swindled.
I was so confused because I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, that looks awesome. I'm like, what is this? What am I looking at? This is like a reboot of this is crazy different.
Crazy from franchise change.
Imagine
I was
that.
I was like, why is it like third person now? But this it looks hype. I'm definitely down to play this. I like this trailer. It was the same as South of Midnight. Like it gave me like 1 minute of it. Like I'm gonna play it. It's in Game Pass. You've sold me on it. You don't need to keep showing me 9 more minutes of this, but sure, I'll watch it anyway because I'm gonna have to if I want to see Doom at the last selection. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna be playing this. I'm excited for it. I just thought the funniest thing about it is I thought this was Immortals 33 for like the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
You're
so
like, this
funny.
does not look like that
That's
top-down
so
game.
funny.
I was so confused. I'm like, that's not. Wait, what is this?
Yeah. Danny, and this is the final game for the show. I'm going to check you guys, and I'm going to check the poll in a second. What were your thoughts, Danny, for this right here?
I think it looks really good. You know, I think this game kind of came out of nowhere when they showed it. Wherever they showed it last time. I think it was that at
Last
the
year, June.
June showcase last time?
Yeah, it's
Um,
been at a bunch of things.
Yeah. It was one of those things where like the first time that they showed it, I was like, this looks really interesting. I don't really understand what it is. And then we sort of got piecemealed information of it. And I think this is the first showing of it where I was like, yes, 100% that's a game I'm going to play. Like up until now that's interesting. I'll see, what's going on. But now I'm like, this is a must play game for me. And it's because it has such like a cool, unique vibe. Like the first couple times we saw it, it was just like, oh, it's like, there's French stuff and like that's interesting, but now that we're seeing I'm trying to remember what the robots are called. It's like something like gesturals or something like that because it's like a play on gestural art, and like they look really cool. I love the big like fat balloon guy. He popped up and he would Enchanté, and I was like, I'm in, I'm sold. Like that's all I needed to. That's literally all I needed to know.
Enchanté.
Like that was 100% everything I needed to know that like this game is for me. Like I'm down.
I don't know what the heck he was saying either. Is that what he said? Did he really say Enchanté?
That's what he said when he popped up the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
He was saying a bunch of stuff throughout, but when he popped out that water the first time when they were introducing him, I was
There
like,
he is.
ooh,
Yeah.
it's my boy.
When I saw him, I was just, all my head went to was like, wee, wee, wee.
Um,
He
I
started
was gonna say,
flying away.
not at because I didn't watch this showcase with friends, but the last showcase that this showed up at that I was watching with some friends, my one friend went, "Huh, this is what Final Fantasy would be like if they kept it turn-based, but it suddenly became French."
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah.
yeah. It's something to be said about kind of sticking to your guns in the traditional aspects of it. Final Fantasy needs to get back to that, I think.
Yeah, it's like if you took Persona and stapled it together to like old like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 Final Fantasy. And I think that's a really great combo.
Yeah, for sure. For me, again, I touched on it earlier as far as it goes. Beautiful art style. I love the warped kind of France look going on. You saw the crooked Eiffel Tower back there in the back. Characters look dope. I love the aesthetics of the world. I want to see where this goes. It looks like it's going to be a great story behind it. Obviously, they're trying to save themselves because in that world, I know something along the lines of at their 33rd year of age or something like that, they have to be sacrificed or something like that. It's been a minute since I read the synopsis, but super excited for this. Again, I think it would have come in first had it not been for those pesky kids. No, if it had not been for Ninja Gaiden 4 and 2 Black, I probably would put it that as this is my top favorite of the showcase, should I say. So let me see. Let me check the poll if it's up. Where is the poll? I feel like.
So I can see it if you want me to.
Please, yes.
Yeah, so A is at 83% and B is at 17%, and if you add that up, you get 100%, and no one is on my hit list for being lower than me.
Good.
I
Yeah,
was thinking, should I hit a D just for the funny? But no, I can't.
can't do it.
Like, illegal.
Not to Doom. I can't do that to Doom. I can't.
Let's see. Oh, I can see it now.
Like, if
It's
by the
silly.
end of a showcase I'm buying something, you know it's an A. I'm just gonna point that
Fair.
out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So nobody voted C or D. I think we're all largely in agreement that A and B was about. I think I came to about, what was you guys' score? I'll give mine first, and then we'll start with Danny and work to you guys
Sure.
as guests. I gave the show, if we're gonna give it a grading of a score, I give it a 9 out of 10. So mine would probably still be in the A section, I guess. To be fair. So yeah.
I mean, it would be an A minus in college, so yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just give that an A. I had an A as well. What about you, Danny? What did you come up with?
I think, I don't know. It's tough because my gut reaction is I want to give this a 10 out of 10, and I think it's earned it. Like, I think that there's valid criticism about it. I think that, moving where Ninja Gaiden shows up would probably have made it, like, maybe slightly more interesting. But in terms of the sort of things that I would expect from a developer direct, I think this is pretty much the perfect version of this, Like, I would have bigger expectations for a June showcase or whatever. But in terms of this being a developer direct, I think this is as good as I can ever expect these to be. Like, it's possible that there's some alternate future, or maybe we get it in a couple years, where every single one of the games are ones that, like, speak to me on a 10 out of 10 level. Like, it's like, okay, we're developer direct 2026. We're talking about Silk Song. We're talking about the next Fallout game. We're talking about, like, something like that, where every single game is like my favorite game in the world. And I think that would be basically the only way that you could get a higher score from me. I'm really impressed by this. Like, everything about the way that they showed this going inside the studios, I think was really great. They left in the personal moments with the devs, which I think is very important to, like, see these as human beings. This is my favorite way to have these showcases be. Obviously I still love, like, the June showcases where it's just like trailer, like, those are great.
Yeah.
But I personally prefer these ones where it's more of an intimate look. It's more personal. And because every single one of these games looks so good, I really have nothing that I can like, there's things I can nitpick, but there's nothing I can complain about,
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that 100%. I would also co-sign that the pacing I thought was really, really well done for this. It was only like 5 games technically shown off, but pacing was well done. nobody was making any awkward like talks. Oh, let's go look at the trebuchet. Like, none
Don't even get me.
You remember
started.
that?
I still remember
Look,
that.
man.
Oh my god.
Was that for age?
Yeah.
That was for age.
See,
oh my
alright,
god.
so that
Oh.
speaks to me because I love
Oh, no.
RTSs.
Yeah.
But like,
Trebuchet. Don't
Hey.
even know. That day I learned a new word.
We
Like,
were
I
watching
didn't-
that,
you didn't
and we
know
were.
what a trebuchet was?
He
No, I didn't know
he
what
didn't know
that
the name
was.
of it. He knew about the
It's
object.
a
He didn't know the
siege
name.
weapon.
No,
that
I
has
know
a
what it is
catapult.
now.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
know
know what it
now.
is now. But like, I was probably like 17 at the time. I don't know what that
Okay.
is. I knew catapult, not trebuchet.
Oh,
Fair.
yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, when we were watching it, it was all we had. Me and MJ and a bunch of other buddies. We were watching a watch party, and we're like, trebuchets. Like,
remember
why are
that.
they showing this?
Get that shit off the
Get
screen.
this off
Just-
the damn screen, man. I was so annoyed by that. Anyway, what about you?
Maybe
you
maybe
said-
that's what the big balloon guy said when he came out of the water. He said trebuchet.
trebuchet.
So if I have to give it on like a scale of like 10, 9.5, 9, 8, you know, so on and so forth, I'd
Yeah.
give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
If I'm allowed to get a little bit more granular than that, it would be a 9.7.
9.7. Now, what will take away the 0.3?
9.7.
We'll take away your
There's the-
0.3 of that.
There's 3 individual points that realistically don't add up enough to truly not make it a 10, but I feel like I have to say them. The
Mhm.
first one is truly the only true functional complaint. And this was something that I remembered. We talked earlier, and I remembered that this was a problem. They said that everything would be play anywhere and on Game Pass here, and everything was on Game Pass. But Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is not a play anywhere title.
Huh.
So that's just a
False
little bit of a
marketing.
complaint that they said something and it's not totally true. It was true of the 4 main games. But Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is not play anywhere. You don't get a PC copy for purchasing it.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't pay attention to that actually.
well, and they corrected themselves on Twitter when someone noticed it.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was the first thing. And that's not the biggest thing in the world, but I really like play anywhere. So like,
Same.
all right, that's the first one. Second one, we already talked about it. I think Ninja Gaiden should have been at the end because I think the shadow
Mhm.
drop of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black ending the show as the one more thing would have been way more hype as shit than doing it at the beginning.
100%.
But that's really not important, right?
Yeah.
That is really something that's not important.
Yeah.
And the third thing was that I think they should have had like the first 2 years 5 games instead of 4. I think it would have just slightly trimmed down because I felt like each section kind of just felt like it was going a little long, and I noticed that not in the Ninja Gaiden and Doom because I was fully focused all the time, but because there were games that I wasn't totally into. I thought they were great, but I wasn't like totally like into listening to the whole thing. I think that just trimming it down slightly and fitting the one more in again like they did in the previous years where they had about 5 major games to talk about
right.
would have been slightly better. And a complaint in general, and this was from last year, so I'm not gonna hold it against this event, not putting a point against it, was I preferred this the first year when it was exclusively Xbox first party / Xbox publishing. But it seems like we're just going to have Xbox and friends from now on. And that's fine. Because like last year they had Square Enix randomly show up with Visions of Mana. And this year it was the Expedition 33, which is just in Game Pass, they're not publishing it. I preferred when it was just an Xbox first party thing, but that's just a personal preference that I think is dead. So I'm not even. This will be the last year I'll probably complain about it.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Hey,
But-
hey.
But really good, really well done, really well done.
Absolutely. So I think so far all 3 of us right now are an A.
Yeah.
And last but not least, MJ, what was your final score and takeaway from this?
All right, here's where I'm gonna be different than the rest of you. Now,
Oh.
I would give it an A,
Mhm.
but it barely breaks that. Now, compared, I know in United States marking an 80, I'm pretty sure is a B, right? I'm just gonna assume that. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
It's a B after
Plus?
high school.
Okay, yeah,
After high
Okay,
school.
in Canada, it's just you're just barely A minus. It's just barely there. That's where I really feel like the show was for me, mainly because,
Right.
look, the game I wanted to get shown wasn't there. Like Ninja Gaiden 4, cool, but again, a game I would not have played, or not have cared about without Game Pass. South of Midnight, cool. I was already gonna play it. It felt like a Deathloop situation to me when Sony just kept showing me the game. I don't care. I'm gonna play it. Don't worry. I understand it's marketing. It's a developer direct, but I would have liked to see maybe the Outer Worlds 2 here instead of that. Doom: The Dark Ages. Like if it was just that, 10 out of 10, and that really carried the show for me. But if that wasn't here, it'd be like a C for me. If Doom wasn't there, and if it was anything else, it'd probably be really low. Doom really carried it for me, but I would still give it an A. But it just barely beats that A mark, mainly because of Doom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
very fair.
that's fair. I think that's fair. Chat family, I'm not sure if you guys had any other thoughts to it. Again, it looks like we all came to our scores fairly reasonably, in my opinion. So,
Was there anything you guys were shocked wasn't here?
Final
GTA
Fantasy.
6.
No,
GTA 6. Like, what the hell? Where's GTA 6?
It's never going to be shown at an event that's not Rockstar in control.
yeah, that's not happening.
No,
Like,
yeah.
but
yeah.
Never.
But
Unless,
imagine, right?
unless Microsoft turns over a heavy bag, which they could.
My schizophrenia kicking in. Just
GTA 6. No, yeah, I would say possibly Final Fantasy's not showing up at this point because we've had so much back and forth with them talking about it. We've seen the CEO, COO, and all of them talking about it. It's where you would think they would pop up at some point.
I'm assuming June.
Yeah,
For
I'm gonna guess
Yeah.
June time, a showcase or something. But I would have expected some Final Fantasy.
I think
to pop up.
16 is just going to be announced. I think that's just
See-
going to be like a Twitter
see,
shit or something.
what
like,
I would've
they're just
thought-
going to announce it.
What I would have thought is that they were gonna pull like a Baldur's Gate at the Game Awards. Look, Final Fantasy 16 right now on Xbox. Go
Yeah.
buy it. That's what I thought they were gonna do today.
Yeah.
I was shocked we didn't get the final like launch trailer. I'm not shocked we didn't get like a deep dive into it because we've had like a billion. I was shocked we didn't get the launch trailer for Avowed.
They started marketing more on Twitter though.
They
like you can look
did.
at their accounts. They're
And
finally
that's-
doing it. Good
that's-
job, guys.
That's why I was shocked we didn't get like the final trailer today, like the the one that like they call the launch trailer,
Or like,
right?
by the way, Avowed's coming out in like 2 weeks. You
Yeah,
know, go look
I
at
was really shocked that like at the end, and by the way, here is the final trailer for Avowed, and that's how they ended it. Like because it felt like it ended a little abruptly with like at the end of Doom, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do Avowed now, and they didn't. And I was like, okay, cool.
it. Okay, yeah. It's, it's
Avowed
always
was the shock for me that they didn't do the final trailer for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. I think that will do it for us for the night. We have some good stuff coming up in the future. Tonight would have actually had been a round table discussion for the Veilguard, which, by the way, I love too. Crusader, I heard you mention it earlier. I actually
You don't
really-
want me there.
It was my
You-
game of the year last year.
You don't want
whoa.
me there.
See,
I mean, I'd love to be there. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have I'm gonna
be
have
the opposing
normal
view.
discussion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have normal discussion. I'm not gonna be mean about it. I
I
was
might
not
be a
fan.
little mean about it if I'm honest.
Danny- not a fan.
Danny's going to be mean about it. So now,
I
Maybe a
mean,
little
me and
bit.
Daniel,
Yeah.
we're the prosecutors of this game.
I do have some people that are on board about it they're pretty much debate heavy themselves. So you're all gonna have a crazy debate if we get into that. But
Let me know.
but yeah, so far I know it's supposed to be my man's Lucius Augustus Heasanti, who wrapped it up recently. It was one other person, I think. Who was it? Oh, Slow-Mo Backslap, and myself and Danny. And now since there's so many, I wouldn't invite anyone else, but I do kind of wish to balance it. So it would be nice kind of to get another negative view of it, just because. But as it is, it's just
Nah.
that's enough right there. So many people that got to talk.
Me versus everybody.
You
Well,
versus the
It's the
world.
way God intended.
Someone bails out, be like, "Yo, come in. I will just like
Tag
I'm there."
team, yeah, just tag them in. But yeah, guys in the chat, thank you all for being here. I don't know if you guys have done so yet, but if you have not, hit the like button for us and hit subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Consider subscribing otherwise. Thank you all for coming through. I'll start with our guests, and then we'll head out from us. Crusader, my brother, thanks for joining us, my man, and hitting me up and say, hey, let me be a part of this. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, yeah, I saw you didn't have any guests listed. I'm like, I wonder if he
Yeah.
needs one.
Hey, I mean, me and Danny been trying to perfect the whole chemistry thing, doing ourselves solo dolo.
Sure.
And I think it's been working out. I pattern us, rather, should I say, off of how Jazz and my brother Rand, how they operate.
Sure.
and I think they do a great job with it. So, but yeah, tell the good folks what you'll be up to, and I guess where they can find you.
Yeah, so I mean, TXR should return sometime this year, I would hope. I'm actually gonna ask Invader about it soon. But you can find me on both Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm a little bit more active on Blue Sky, and I'm trying to transition more to being on Blue Sky completely. But you can catch me at both of those places at Crusader3456. You can find me on both. And you will see me just kind of talking about a bunch of different RPG games and Resident Evil in the near future.
Yeah. Well, there you go for that. No, I can't say that now. But never mind. MJ, my brother, who apparently had surpassed us, Danny, in subs on YouTube for now.
No.
Yeah, he made sure to rub that in my face. He just tagged me randomly. I'm like,
Oh, I saw that. I was, I had one really good day, and I'm thinking, you know what? Like, I remember I had a discussion with this guy a while back. I just gotta point it out.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. Looks like I know what I have to do. Gotta buy some bots. No, but
gotta buy some bots. Start hitting some copyright claims. Just get them down.
Right. Why did you jump from 1,000, nearly 2,000 to 20,000 subs? I don't know. I didn't do nothing.
Still got like 20 viewers. Like, it's,
right. Why don't the viewers match? They're tired. But MJ.
They in bed.
Yeah, they in bed right now. It's late. Well, tell the good folks where they can find you and what you'll be up to.
I will be patiently waiting for Doom. That's really what I'm gonna be doing. No.
I'm
gonna be waiting at my window for that. I'm gonna be waiting at my window for that package to come in.
Yeah.
I'll probably be playing Metaphor until Avowed comes out, and then Avowed until April, and then as it goes. Oh no, I guess till Atomfall, and then just whatever happens. And you guys can find me at my YouTube channel, MJ Plays. I rarely do Twitter, but it's MJ Hernandez. I update it every once in a while. Like I just posted today me buying the collector's edition. It's got like 30 likes, like my most liked post in a while. I don't usually post as much as I used to, because considerably when I post on YouTube community notes or the community things, they get so many more likes. Like I posted one yesterday, it has like 23 now, and considering the size of my channel, I'm like, oh my god, like I'm gonna start doing this. Screw Twitter. But yeah,
that's one way to do it.
I don't care. I'm like, all right, but MJ Plays is where you guys can find me.
MJ Plays. So you guys check him out and check out Crusader as well. Danny, my man, tell the good folks what you'll be up to and where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me as always on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee, or at my personal YouTube channel, Daniel McGee, or you can now find me and my best friend Skylar on our brand new podcast, Ready Set Replay, on either YouTube or Spotify.
Very nice, very nice. And they're covering like classic games and stuff like that, guys. So you all might like that. Yeah, I think of it kind of like a more hands-on video game nerd playthrough. You know how he used to play those games.
A little bit, yeah.
He's sitting there cursing them out. Like, oh, this game fucking sucks. It's sucking mucks. It fucking sucks. And he'll be saying,
wait until we get to Banjo Tooie, because we got some words for Canary Mary. Let me
tell you. Oh man. Yeah, so you guys check out Danny's and his buddy's podcast for that as well. And again, if you all have not subscribed here or please do so. We got to do some more things. We will, like I said, have the roundtable discussion for the Veil Guard, which sadly didn't do well. We talked about it earlier. I thought it should have done well, personally. It's unfortunate. But as far as myself, Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite, you'll find me either way. That's on Twitter and Blue Sky. And of course, Tuesdays, you'll find me on Boom's podcast, The Xbox Factor. That's at 12 o'clock Eastern. Back here with me and Danny on Thursdays at 8 o'clock Eastern. And tomorrow night, The Infinite Podcast. I'm not sure if we'll have anybody else joining us, but that's at 7 o'clock Eastern. Other than that, man, let's get out of here. Thanks, KC. I see you. Say great show. Yeah, we will see you guys later. You all have a good night.